I had a great therapy session yesterday with my therapist, and I had shown her the actual letter that my narcissistic sister wrote me along with the dumbass award diploma that she sent me. And she really just like shook her head in such belief. I was like, this is what I'm up against. And she just told me, she said I was a very childish, cheap shot. And I really told her how all this stuff made me feel. And really, it's more like if I do anything in the reaction because that's what she wants, then she already has me. And that if I react anyway, like either write her back or whatever, then or waste all my time and energy googling things and find out how to do stuff to you know on a legal standpoint what I could possibly do to her. And she says if I waste all my time doing that, then that's she has my energy. And she really made me think that right now she has done nothing. Everything she says in that letter, for right now as it stands, that it's all nothing but talk. She hasn't taken any action. It's all talk. And I said, you know what, you're right. It's just basically what I have to do in the meantime is not let that stuff in the letter get to me because she wants a reaction out of me and she's banking on that. And like I said, I vowed I'm not going to respond to that because I'm not going to give her what she wants. She's not worth my energy. She's not worth me losing what I had the potential of coming. And basically my therapist just told me, for the time being, just focus on the good things in my life. Focus on the God-given family that God has given me and has surrounded me with. Focus being around those people and drawing their love for you. Basically draw something from the love that they're giving you. Draw from that. Draw from their positivity, not your biological sister's negativity. And you know what, though, I had even mentioned yesterday also too, later on yesterday evening, that I was with my new God-given family, and I even told my God-given big sister, I told her all this, and I even showed her, because I took a picture of it on my phone, of that diploma thing that she gave, that my sick narcissistic sister gave to me in the mail, and she just couldn't believe it. I told her, I said, that's how vindictive she is, her and the rest of them. And she basically just says she's jealous of you. And you know and instead of trying to do research on what legal things that I can do to her, I'm pretty much taking my therapist advice and focus on the positive things. Um, focus on the people that God has given me to love me, and to focus on me. Focus on getting better. Focusing on recovering from surgery. Focus on my health, physically, mentally, and she just says, you have to make it work. Like, she's not worth your energy. All she's doing is trying to get a rise out of you, and if she can't, she's won. Well, instead of turning my attention to just Googling, like I said, about what legal stuff that I could possibly do to her, I'm turning my attention to another different way as far as Googling is concerned, and that's basically kind of really step back and just look at her. Look at my disgruntled, jealous, biological sister. And just observe her behavior and take a look back and just kind of read that letter that she wrote to me. Kind of read it with a different perspective in mind, and you know what? I already have. Because I've highlighted some stuff in this letter that she has written me, and I'm looking at it with a different perspective. It says, like, um, again, you are afforded the opportunity to live carefree with no responsibilities. Where'd that get you? We all know that if your fiance didn't take care of you, that you'd be out in the street, like the stray dog that you are. For the record, no one attempted to change his mind in regards to you. Are you suggesting you're valuable? Not to us. Trash belongs on the street. And you know what? Just reading this statement with perspective now, with a different type of perspective, she's jealous and mad along with the rest of them because she's projecting her negative, pathetic life on me. And she's jealous because I have a man that was very, very supportive of me when I did go back to school. And she's jealous. So she's projecting something she wished she had that she sees that my fiance and I have. She's just projecting her anger, her unhappiness onto me because she can't have what me and my fiance have. Well, look at your attitude. It's her attitude, and she'll never ever get it. Talking about, we intentionally exclude you from family gatherings and holidays because we don't like you. Well, good. Saying I stink, I embarrass them, and I just don't fit in. Well, that's okay. I don't want to be in that. God's already given me people where I do fit in. And so to sit there and say that I don't fit in, that's just her way of just saying, well, you're not going to fit in nowhere. And I can bet you right now that she doesn't even fit in where she's at. And when we had our high school reunion, of course, obviously, she avoided me and I avoided her. But everybody in there could really say, a lot of people gravitated towards me and my fiance that night. And so where she's saying I stink and I embarrass us and I don't fit in, it's basically she doesn't fit in with the people in the reunion because more people gravitated towards me and my fiance more than her. And I could tell you right now, the people that were in the reunion, in the high school reunion, they could see that. They're not stupid. And they see what loudmouth she is. So who wants to be around a loudmouth just trying to make a scene? And here I am, I'm being myself. And people gravitate toward me. And there was a lot of people. I had several pictures taken, with people from my graduating class. And she's just saying that because she didn't fit into the people that were taking pictures of me with them. So there again, she's projecting her anger towards me, wishing she fit in with me and the people that gravitated towards me and my fiance. And then she makes a remark about the letter that I wrote to my mother, and I know she's already read. Of course, I know my mom either read it to her over the phone, or she might, maybe let her read that letter in person. But her reaction to the letter that I wrote to my narcissistic mother was, since you write the way you speak, there should be no problem finding a job as a maid in a motel. No, how about a greeter at Walmart? On second thought, no hygiene combined with the lack of ability um, to actually look straight into a customer's eyes would never work. And then she's saying, like, you have the hope of becoming a nurse? Fat chance. Your hygiene is alone is ridiculous. And then saying that I continue to live in a fantasy world where only I believe that I can make anything happen. And it says, well, we all know you can't get a job at a financial institution. And then she mentions various types of banks. And sit here saying my possibilities are limited. What was my first associate degree in? Marketing. How's that working for me? See that you're living the life of the rich and famous. And then that thing with that certificate saying I've enclosed a certificate to add to the useless diplomas that we the taxpayer have purchased on your behalf. Since you're a career student, add the official certificate dumbass to the pile. No one will hire you. Haven't you realized that? That's why your hopes and dreams of a payday will be dashed when you lose your, you know, um, when you lose, and I'm going to exclude that out, but when I lose something that is going to be coming my way. And then sitting here saying she really sit here and just try to just really try to tear me down because frankly a job in the medical profession is out. If a short stint in school qualifies you to compare yourself to a doctor, then whomever issues you a license should be disqualified. So all this stuff that I just read and highlighted to you shows to me such anger she feels towards me because she can't become what I'm becoming. And I'm going to make it. And she's just jealous that I'm breaking out, I'm busting out. And she think all these put downs are going to stop me. I said, well, you know what? I'm coming here with a different perspective. And I'm looking at all this cheap shots at me, at my expense. I'm looking at it at a completely different way now. And you know what? I'm not responsible. I mean, I look at it, it's like, boy, she's really unhappy with her life. She has nothing much to show for. She's in a dead-end job. Really? And she has no college education. She's not going to get anywhere. So she's stuck at a dead-end job, a dead-end marriage. Living in a dead-end neighborhood. And then she's going to sit here and just project all this hatred that she has towards me because that's something she wished she could become. She's jealous of what I can become, and it's going to come into fruition. Like I said in a lot of my videos, as long as I have God, I got everything. I have nothing to worry about. And another interesting point that my therapist had told me yesterday was, really, she doesn't define your destiny, you do. Where you go is defined by you, not her. And my therapist is so right. And I'm just, I'm busted out. I'm not going to be held back anymore. And like I said, she doesn't determine my destiny. God and I do. And He has a wonderful plan for me. And I know things in my life are going to turn around. Maybe not, it could be anywhere from blink to an eye to a snap of a finger of God's power. God could change anything in a split second. And, as long as I have my faith, she or nobody else can't take that away. But now that I'm looking at these cheap shots that she's throwing at me, it's like, wow. She is so childish. She's throwing a temper tantrum because things in her life aren't turning out the way she wants to. Basically, because she has a piss poor attitude. She's a narcissist. And she's not going anywhere. So to sit here and try to tear me down and saying all this stuff and try to find my future, thinking that that's going to turn things around her life, no, it isn't. Because she's going to stay right where she's at. She ain't going nowhere. She never will. And so I had to take my focus off of her, and I just had to just look up to God and look to myself and say, you know what? She's not worth my energy anymore. First of all, and second of all, you know what? It's sad. Looking at this letter now, like I said, I've looked at it with a different perspective. And it's like, it's so sad. She's living such a sad, sad life. And all the stuff that she's turning to me is a projection of her own failures and shortcomings. And she's turning that on to me by trying to tear me down. And I'm just sitting here inside, I'm laughing at her. I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to be responsible for your unhappiness. You're not, I said, I'm not going to. I'm not going to sit here and be responsible for your unhappiness, for your failures and your shortcomings. And on top of it all, I'm not responsible for your unhappiness. So continue to sit there and rant and rave and say all these things about me, but it's not going to change your life. And you know what? I'm just going to sit back and just observe how childish you are and how unhappy you are. So, it's such a shame. I'm going to be somebody in life and it's going to really tear you apart. I said, well, you know what, though? I'm not going to live. It's not so much I'm going to be living a lot better. Yes, I will. But I'm not doing it to please you or anybody. And I'm not going to sit here and give your negativity. I'm not going to take it in. This negativity that you're projecting towards me because you're not happy, I'm not going to take it in. I'm not going to let it into my heart. And I'm not going to sit here and just let you sit here and just try to tear me down. But like I said, I'm just going to let each tear down that you throw at me, I'm just going to really observe from a different perspective and say, boy, you're so sad. So sad, so pathetic, that it's nauseating. And you don't have the power to put me where I need to be. Only God does. And I have my faith in Him. And my faith is getting stronger by the day. And now that I've done my research on how to handle people like you that like to try to get a rise out of me, I'm not going to feed you by reacting, by writing you back. But my reaction is, now, is that how sad and how pitiful your life is. All the stuff that you're throwing at me is a projection of your negative, pathetic life. It's basically you like to just wash your hands of your negativity and let it fall on me. Well, it's not going to fall on me because you know what? I got a bright beam of light around me at all times, which will deflect your negativity forever even touching me. Each and every day is progress for me, because now I'm becoming more aware of your behavior. I'm becoming more and more aware of my narcissistic sister's behavior, and I'm taking, like I said, I'm taking a step back and I'm just looking back at it. And I'm just really observing. It's time for me to start looking at things from a different perspective. And to sit there and say, you know what, how sad. And now I'm going to go and focus on the things that's going to make me happy. And I'm going to do the things that's going to bring God the glory, because I know I'm nothing without Him. I'm going to focus on each day getting through and working through my feelings of the abuse that I suffered from my own narcissistic parents. I'm going to focus on that. I'm going to continually focus on doing the things that's going to make me a better me. And I have to focus on, above all else, recovering from surgery that I just had. And I gotta focus on things that bring me joy and be around the people that love me. And that's where my new focus has to be. And continue to do the work in therapy. And I will do such things. And I'm looking forward to a brand new whole life. Each day I have to look at as I'm stepping towards closer and closer to healing, and closer of closure from this. Each day is a step closer. And I'll get there. I'll get there. And so for those of you that are recovering from a narcissistic parent, whether it be a mother, father, both, without siblings, I know where you're at, because I'm going through it myself. And if you have people in your family that try to tear you down, and it's very hard not to, but I know it eats at you, I know it gets to you, believe me, I get it. I know where you're at, and the best way to kind of redirect those projections thrown at you is you just gotta say, you know what, that person is so sad, so pathetic, and you just gotta look at them with just like, what a shame, what a pity. Look how sad they are, and are taking their negativity out on me, what their shortcomings in their life and their failures in their life. You just gotta look at things from a different perspective. Even though the stuff they say to you tear you down and upsets you, believe me, I know it is upsetting. But you gotta look at it too, that hey, their negativity and their attempts to try to tear you down is not worth your energy. You give them your energy. That's why narcissists are called emotional vampires, and right there you're reacting and you're giving them your energy, because they know how to push your buttons. And the most powerful thing that you can do is not give them that energy, not give them that attention. And that's another thing. What's so funny about this letter that she wrote me, and along with that stupid diploma, her desperate attempt to try to provoke me and press my buttons. I'll look at now. And I'm just fine. It's like she wants attention. She wants attention, just like a child. She'll never grow up. People like her will never grow up. Narcissists never grow up. They will always act like a kid, always wanting attention. Attention's got to be on them, and they thrive on that. And so I'm not going to give my narcissistic sister, biological sister I should say, I'm not going to give her the attention that she craves. She's not worth my time. She's not worth my energy. She's not worth the sweat off my back. Somebody like me that's trying to make something out of themselves and trying to move up in life, but doing it the right way, like I did, go back to school, work your ass off, improve yourself, and applying constantly what you learn. People like me are a constant reminder of something she will never become. And it's a constant reminder of what a failure she always will be. Not just her, but the rest of my so-called narcissistic family. Former family, that is. And I have to get used to saying former family. The narcissistic family that I was once in. And I refused to let them drag me down with them when their glass towers come crumbling down. I'm not gonna let them pull them down with me. I'm not gonna let them pull me down with them. Because each day I'm rising above their BS. But every day, like I said, is a learning process. I'm learning how to think differently. I'm learning different perspectives on how to look at things and from different perspectives. Try to keep my emotions out of it, and sometimes that's kind of hard to do. But kind of just basically just look at the facts, look at the behaviors, and observe it. And just, like I said, just say how sad that person is. It's really a shame that they're never going to have the happiness that I have because I have a good man and she's jealous of that. They all are. It's like, oh, okay, they have this and they have that, but you know what? How many of you even see even the rich and famous people have money out the yin yang, have big houses, maybe even more than one house, they have cars, they have this and they have that, but how many times have you always seen them in the news getting in trouble with the law or getting involved with drugs or alcoholism? Because it all stems from being unhappy. It's like you can have everything in the world at your fingertips. You can have everything you want and still not be happy. Money never buys happiness. It's what you have here. It's what you have in your heart. And you know what? Me and my fiance, we have things that not all the money in the world could ever buy. We have, we have our ups and downs. Yes, we argue, but not all the time. We understand each other, and we both came from abusive families. We both have. We both, he had a narcissistic father. His mother had mental issues. She wasn't a narcissist. I met her a few times, and she was, unfortunately, she'd passed away eventually, but at least I had the honor to meet her at least twice, and she was really a nice, sweet lady, and she really accepted me. Because she was one of those type of mothers that's like, hey, as long as my son's happy, And if he loves you, I love you too. And that's the way she was. So I had that honor to have met her at least twice before she passed away. And that was early in me and my fiance's relationship. You know, it's so funny how some people just think that we should just hurry up and get married. What the hell's the hurry? We've both been married before. You know? And it's like we're taking our time. There's things between us that has to be resolved. I mean, and this here, from being a daughter of narcissistic parents and coming from a narcissistic family, biological family, there's still some unresolved anger, unresolved wounds, and those have to all come to the surface and be dealt with. And I'm doing the right thing by going through therapy, by journaling, by doing videos and sharing my story and shining the truth on what I went through. Shining the truth on my narcissistic biological family. I'm shining the truth on it. And I'm not afraid to. And you know, I'm just going to take it one day at a time, one step at a time, towards recovering. And if I could even help Paul through his, you know, if I could help my fiance through his stuff, through the abuse that he suffered. And I learned how to love through therapy, which is one of the goals. That, you know, to really learn what love really is and learn how to love the right and healthy way. Not like the love has to start with me. I have to learn to love me, but in the right way and in a healthy way. And once I learn how to do that, I can really learn how to better love him. And also I can better love the narcissistic, I mean not the narcissistic, but I can better love the family that God has given me. I can better love them. And I love both of my daughters a lot. But I have to focus on me and getting myself to be where I need to be. And only I can do that and do the work. But once I accomplish all that, then I know there will be a point to where my fiance and I will marry. But we're not going to sit here and get married on anybody else's terms. I mean, being looked down upon, so, oh, well, you guys live together, oh, that's a sin, or oh, that's that. You guys aren't married, so what? Right now, at this stage of our lives, we don't need a piece of paper to prove that we love each other. We don't need a piece of paper to say that we're married, because in our own hearts right now, as it stands right now, we are married in our own hearts. But no one's going to sit here and determine or define us or define our relationship because we're not married. As we get looked down upon that a lot with my former narcissistic family. Say, well, you guys ain't married. You guys ain't married. You know, you're living in sin and it's, yeah, but only God understands our situation. And you're not God, and it's not your job to judge. But, sorry if I'm going on a tirade here, but I'm really, like I said, I'm really coming out with a different perspective on everything. Still continue to do the work that I need to heal. But now I'm starting to learn how to look at anybody else's attacks against me or against my fiance. And I have to just kind of look at it with a different perspective of saying, you know what, they're not going to get a rise out of me. They're not going to get a reaction. Because I'm not going to respond to it. But what I am going to do is step back and look back and just say, hey, this how sad and pitiful that my narcissistic family is. It's pitiful. And any attacks that any of them else throw at me, I just gotta say how sad. And I'm not gonna I'm not responsible for their sadness, their unhappiness, their frustrations. As far as life's concerned, I'm not gonna hold myself responsible for that. I'm not responsible for that. I'm not responsible for anything that goes wrong in their lives. I'm not gonna be responsible for that. And I'm not gonna be responsible for how their lives are turning out. I refuse to do that. I need to focus on making myself happy and focus on making myself a better me. The best me that God has meant for me to be. That's what I need to do. And I'm on my way. I'm definitely on my way. So right now I'll end for now. I have other videos in case you ran into this video. I have other videos explaining my life with a narcissistic mother and my recovery, me recovering. I have other videos here, and I'll continue to make as many as I can when I can. But if you want to learn more about my life as a narcissistic daughter and recovering from it, please click on the subscription button below. Tell me your comments, your thoughts. I welcome it all with an open mind. And just know, you're not alone. I can really relate with what you're going through. I understand. I get it. Nothing that any of you would ever tell me is something that I haven't experienced or have heard others experience. So please, subscribe to my videos. Push the subscription button at the below this video, and post your comments also below this video. Thank all of you for listening. God bless. Have a wonderful day. And I wish all of you peace. Bye for now. Thank you.